Now, India says this military offensive, dubbed Operation Sindoor, was targeting two established terrorist groups that have long operated out of Pakistani territory. Now, Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaesh-e-Mohammed have been listed as terrorist organizations by the Australian government and others worldwide. Now, here's what we know about them. The first is Lashkar-e-Taiba, Sunni extremist group that is based in Pakistan and uses violence in pursuit of its objectives and has more than a dozen camps within the country. One of its objectives is to unite Indian-administered Kashmir with Pakistan under a radical interpretation of Islamic law. Its broader mission is to establish an Islamic caliphate across the Indian subcontinent. And the other group is Jaesh-e-Mohammed, which is also a Sunni Islamist extremist outfit, but reportedly much smaller in size to Lashkar-e-Taiba, but with similar objectives. That includes the use of violence to force Indian troops to withdraw from Kashmir. Its ultimate goal is to have the entire Jammu and Kashmir region under Pakistan's control. Dr. Ajai Sahni is the Executive Director of the Institute for Conflict Management and South Asia Terrorism Portal. He joins me now from New Delhi. Good to have you with us. Ajay, now firstly, do you believe India's strikes were able to hit these two terrorist organizations that were targeted, Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaesh-e-Mohammed, as what the Indian military was describing?
There is some visual evidence now coming in that the facilities have been hit, substantially damaged. Whether or not there was significant occupation of these facilities at the time of attack is, of course, in question as yet. We would have to wait for more evidence on that.
Yes, and what do you know about the strengths of these groups, and do you believe that they aided in the attack in Pahalgam 2 weeks ago?
Well, the attack in Pahalgam 2 weeks ago is attributed not to both the groups, but essentially to the Lashkar-e-Taiba. Through its front, so-called the resistance front. These are these two groups, Lashkar being the much stronger of the two, that have been creating perhaps the gravest amount of damage on the ground in Jammu Kashmir. As far as Jammu Kashmir itself is concerned, on the ground they have a very small number of cadre operating. Nevertheless, their strength in Pakistan is likely in the thousands. They have open recruitment camps. They have open participation in public events. So it's a very large group. It's a very publicly operating group, though it operates, of course, under a range of fronts, which are essentially humanitarian fronts. It's the Jamaat-ud-Dawa, which is also a banned organization, the Falah Insaniyat Trust. These are all names under which they collect funds for terrorism, they recruit, they propagate their ideology.
Yes, and to what degree do you think these terrorist organizations are linked or supported by the powers to be in Pakistan, be it the military or its intelligence services, the ISI?
I think there has been, through these decades of operation, no doubt in the minds of any intelligence organization across the world, that these are nothing more than the instrumentalities of the Pakistani army and the inter-services intelligence.
So, I mean, all this was kicked off, at least by the Pahalgam attacks. Why do you think India was not able to preempt that from an intelligence point of view?
I don't think it is possible ever to come to a situation of zero risk of terrorism. We've had attacks across the world in some of the most sophisticated, most securitized societies of the world. There will always be a vulnerability to terrorism, especially if you have a neighbor actively supporting terrorism on your soil.
Yes,
I don't regard this as an extraordinary intelligence failure. After the event, every terrorist incident is a failure, of course. But should this have been predicted? Could this have been predicted? Well, in that case, we would have no terrorism in the world because everything should and could have been predicted.
Yes. And now the final question I have for you, Ajay, is, will Indian-administered Kashmir, at the very least, ever be safe, in the years to come, given how the Modi government has opened it up much more since the abrogation of Article 370 back in 2019?
I don't think the abrogation of 370 has anything to do with the security situation in Kashmir. The security situation in Kashmir as it prevails today has been very substantially created by the security forces and the improving efficiency of their operations. If anything, we have become, when you say, will Kashmir ever be safe or secure? The answer is, well, we used to have 4,000 plus fatalities in a single year in 2001. We had 127 fatalities last year. So we are very, very much more safe and secure in Jammu and Kashmir today. Is it perfectly safe? Do we have zero terrorism as the government claims? I think those are exaggerated, boastful claims. They are not what you would call a security assessment. They are vulnerabilities. Those vulnerabilities will remain as long as Pakistan continues to support this movement, despite the fact that it has almost completely died on Kashmiri soil.
Okay, Dr. Ajai Sahni in New Delhi, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you for having me.